right. Man, I got a shit-eating grin on my face because I just love that. I don't know. It's lame. My editing skills suck, but hopefully the message is decent. Um, episode 5, man. It's another impromptu one. And I'm really going to try to look at the camera to try to make contact, but it's a little bit higher than what I would like. And it's kind of annoying and distracting, but I'm going to try to look at the camera the best I can if I'm going to have my face on here. Also, this is not like a sponsorship. I just found this hat, put it on. Looks decent. Um, but yeah, these people will probably sue me for having their name on a stupid Zoom podcast. Anyway, the reason for this one today, man. I love me some recovery, dude. I love me some AA. Um, I love Talking Circle. I love Life Ring. Peer 360 is a group out of Bay City. They're in a couple different areas, but just been in touch with a guy on that. And they got a lot of upcoming events, and I'll ask before that I talk about them, but haven't got there yet with him. But yeah, a lot of different pathways to recovery, and that's good, right? Because AA is not for everybody. I know for me early on, the God word bothered me quite a bit, and I worked really hard to work around that. Um, Now it's not a problem at all, but in the beginning it was a little rough. It felt, and it, if I'm being honest, it might have felt like church because I was making it feel that way, not the people. And that's only being fair. But today I was in a group on Facebook, and this gentleman, I don't know the length of his sobriety, but he got on and he posted in this recovered alcoholics is the name of the group, and he posted in there that he had a relapse or a slip. Um, First of all, I thought that was very brave. Anytime that you tell anybody, I mean, even talking to complete strangers and admitting that is brave. Overwhelmingly, the responses were positive, but there were enough people, at the end of his post, he said, do I start completely over? And even the moderator of the group was like, I think you know the answer to that already. And that just really fucking grind my gears, man. You are not starting over after a slip or relapse. All right. That I'll use myself as an example because that's the best example that I have. Okay. I have, and I didn't add up the number. I probably should have done that beforehand, but I have over 250 days of sobriety in 2022 alone. That alone in 2022, those days are more days of sobriety than I probably had in the last 10 years combined. And I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think that's pretty accurate. Because for about 10 years, it started with a fifth a night, well, 4.5 pints, which equals a fifth. But I really do think that I didn't have 250 days of total sobriety in the last 10 years. Definitely not in the last four. Um, so my recent relapse, which was 42 days ago, um, or slip, whatever you want to call it. The definition that, as I told a guy commented on there, the name of the group is Recovered Alcoholics, and he's like, so if you had a slip, are you recovering or are you recovered? And I said, well, that's in the eyes of the beholder, right? What's the definition of recovered? Because if you're going by AA standards, they talk about one day at a time. Okay. And then you have to work the steps, not just once or twice. You have to work the steps, especially step 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when wrong, promptly admit it. You got to do it for a lifetime. So if you have to do those steps for a lifetime, when are you recovered? When do you get that label of recovered? Is it when you dry out? Some people say that it takes 2 to 3 years for your brain to come back to normal working capacity. Is that when you're recovered? So I asked him that, and I got no response, because what he was trying to do is he was trying to say, the group is recovered people, and I was talking like I was a recovered person, even though that I had a relapse 43 days ago, or this gentleman that had just did it. So how can he be recovered? That's why people are trying to tough love him back into recovery. And Man, that shit pisses me off because I don't know how many days this guy before his relapse. I don't know how many days that he had. I know how many days I had before my last relapse, and that was 218 days. When I drank again, I didn't lose those 218 days. Those are still sober days. That was still sober work that I put in, worked my ass off to get. Okay. The consecutive days is nice, but that can, to me, sometimes that can hurt you more than anything because you lose all these days. I've been sober for this long and now I got to start over at day one. Fuck that. Yeah, the counter starts over. Okay. So what? You still got all those other days. You have to look at these things differently. These people, these hardcore AAs that want to get up in everybody's business, they're trying to project love and caring vibes. You're not supposed to take all other people's inventory. What the frick you doing? The dude got on here. The dude said, I screwed up. I need help. Give me some sort of feedback. Well, let's bury a complete stranger and make him feel, and he's already feeling this big. So let's go ahead and squash him because we can step on him now and kick him while he's down. Let's tell him, oh, well, you didn't go to enough meetings, did you? Did you call your sponsor? Did you do what you were supposed to do? Were you working the steps? When was the last meeting that you went to? Shut up. Okay, these things happen. And to bury these people that are trying so hard. And I believe that anybody that is willing to get on social media and post their shit in front of everybody is working their ass off. Because it's out there for everybody to know. I left a really good job to come back here to be with a family member that's not doing the greatest. It's a danger zone. It is. I mean, I don't have employment right now. I have court dates coming up. This is a dangerous time for me. Luckily, there's some things that I can't really bring up, but there's some things in place that kind of take the choice away from me as far as drinking. But I did just find a half gallon myself here the other day, and I didn't even hesitate. But that's a whole nother story. I'm getting off topic. The point is, there are multiple pathways. AA is not the only one, and if you think it's the only one, and you think that those lines and guidelines and the way that you treat people when they relapse, and you want to tell them all the things that they did wrong or all the things they should have done so that didn't happen. If that's your cup of tea, man, then I don't want to be a part of it. Hopefully this dude that's on there does one thing that AA does say that I do like a lot, which there are a lot of things that I like a lot. But as far as when it comes to meetings and feedback, take what you need and leave the rest. So I hope, and I'm going to pray to the gods that this dude reads all the the comments, takes the compliments for what he needs, reads the negative ones, takes what he could use for it, and leaves the other shit on the side of the road, man. The opposite of addiction is connection. And for somebody to get on social media and air out their dirty laundry like that, looking for help, the connection needs to be a good kind of connection. Well, it's not a connection if you're being a negative asshat. I'm super proud of that dude. I don't even know that guy, but to do that is very brave. And I hope he understands that. I tried to convey that the best I could. There are a lot of people on there that say, dust yourself off and get right back on the horse. There were a lot of those comments, and those are good comments. I just had to get on here, man. I just, AA has done a lot of really good things for a lot of people. I'm not going to discount AA. If you are struggling with addiction, get to a meeting. Hopefully you find a good one, or at least find somebody in there that you can connect with, because I know there are some people when you walk into a meeting, they're the regulars. And just like in anything else, you walk into a small town restaurant to get breakfast, and you got the regulars sitting at a table drinking coffee, like eyeballing you as you come in, like, all right, what does this suspicious son of a bitch do? What are they doing in my meeting? You'll get that from time to time. I hope more often than not that's not the case, but I've been there and I've felt that. Again, this is not AA bashing. I love AA. I have my self-modified, decorated AA book right here. Got little stickers. I've read it a couple times, and this is my second, fourth edition. So my other one looks like even more of a rainbow. But bought the hardcover just because I wanted the hardcover, and I bought it again to make myself read it again. So AA is a dear friend of mine. I just hope people can use it in the right way. Um, yeah. So if you listen to this and you're struggling, I posted my phone number on Facebook today. I wasn't kidding. You can call me or text me anytime, and if I'm available, I'll be there to chat. We're in this together, and like I said, the people that are just as important as the addicts, in my personal opinion, are the people that are being affected by addicts. People that can't understand why they're doing this and why they can't just stop. Why they can't stop for me. Why they can't stop for the kids. Why they can't stop for this or their job or whatever. Those people, you people, if you're listening, are just as important as the addict, in my opinion, because if you don't understand it, you're not going to be able to help anybody. And I know that there are a lot of great, wonderful, amazing, beautiful, loving people that have tried and tried to help my sorry ass out for a long time. And fortunately, a lot of those are still in my life in some capacity. Maybe not the capacity that I want, but that's not for me to decide. All I can do is do what I can do today to make myself better and to ensure that to set up some sort of foundation where my future has a chance. And if those people come back into my life in the capacity that I want, great. Um, I talked to my kids on the phone the other night for a decent amount of time, both of them together at the same time for the first time in a long time. And that was a huge, huge victory in my sobriety. I love those boys. I love those boys with all my heart. But I can't do this for them. The moment that I do that and something happens where they're 9 and something happens and they get mad at me for something, if my sobriety depends on their happiness and they don't become happy, then I'm screwed. I have to do this for myself, and if I do this for myself and I love myself and I appreciate myself enough to do this, they're going to love and appreciate me more because I'm going to be present and I'm going to be there and I'm going to be a better person and a better father. I'm a great dad. I'm a shitty dad when I'm drinking. um, I'm going to be a great dad in the future. I know that. It's already starting to happen. And I'm very blessed even to still have an opportunity to talk to my children. So, and one thing I'm just going to throw out there since I'm talking about my kids, my ex-wife, I'm not sure what a convenient time for my headset to die. So anyway, my ex-wife, I'm going to put it out there because I don't think that she believes me when I tell her that I appreciate everything that she's doing for those kids. She's been doing it alone for a minute now, um, because I've been fighting this thing. She's been doing it and doing it, she has family, but she's doing it by herself. And I appreciate her more than she'll ever know for the little men that they are growing up to be. And I can only hope to be helpful in the future and give her the support that she deserves and that they deserve. Um, so to you, Steph, thank you. Thanks for listening, guys.